A little bird told me Trump is considering a run in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Literally. A very small bird. Here in Japan. In English. It spent hours drinking bad coffee and peering through the dirty windshield of a tiny automobile parked across the street from my apartment building in the hopes of learning where I hide my emergency key, which is ridiculous because I live on the 6th floor, and also I don't have an emergency key. So, after a while, the over-caffeinated Avian gumshoe finally gave up and got himself buzzed in by pushing a bunch of doorbells, and once in took the stairs to my floor and picked the lock to my apartment, which is hard because it's a good lock, and he's a bird without opposable thumbs or non-opposable thumbs or any thumbs or fingers of any kind at all. And this bird, this winged dinosaur, this enemy of all that is warm, managed to open the door without alerting my mother-in-law, who may be hard of hearing but can detect the slightest movement of air, which is why we've assigned her the room nearest the front door, so that she may detect home invaders. And is also why sometimes my wife or I will blow gently in her direction when she's not looking, and then when she turns to see what's going on, we pretend we weren't doing anything and just smile at each other across the dinner table because we don't have cable TV and this is what passes for entertainment over here. But back to the bird. This intrepid fowl, once in, clattered down the uncarpeted hallway and, finding both me and the missus asleep at the kotatsu before a quietly murmuring TV, nevertheless persisted in its ridiculous mission of telling us what the guy on TV had already told us hours before we were both driven to sleep by all the damn commercials. Because, like I said before, we don't have cable. And using a vocal track designed for chirping or singing or whatever passerine pastime this feathered intruder indulges in when not breaking into homes and bothering regular working folks with news hours old, began such an awful screeching and scraping that I, without even waking, whacked at it with a bamboo back scratcher I bought in Kyoto 17 years earlier, and keep warm beneath the kotatsu, which, for those not familiar with it, is a traditional Japanese heated table, in the past heated with charcoal placed beneath it, but nowadays is heated with an electric sort of grill attached to the underside of the table. The table itself then covered with a heavy sort of blanket, which you might think would be a fire hazard. To which I would reply, who the hell asked you, and would you now please show yourself out of my home and take this bird with you, and its one toe I just amputated with my back scratcher that will have him forever leaning just a bit to one side on overhead wires, appearing to be whispering out the side of his beak to the bird on his left about the time he broke into an American's home and had the temerity to speak to him about the politics of a country that, like the language he used to speak it in, was not his own. The bird, that is. I speak English.